Greetings, this is the Evening Run. A pleasure always. Your host, Denobi2.
All right, let's do this. Hello, folks. It's been a while. I apologize. It's been a while. I still love you, folks. I really do. I still love you, folks. We got a lot to talk about. We really do. We absolutely do. But before we do, though, let's see who's joining us on this wonderful evening run. 10 o'clock, Andre. I'm back, baby. Of course I'm back. I never left. I like breaks. Folks, I love to take a break. Andre checking in at 6 in the morning from the United Kingdom. I apologize. I know I've been gone for a while, but I still love you, folks. I really, genuinely do. I do. Huagon, WB, sir. Okay. Luis, hello, good sir. But the only figure I'm getting is Captain America. Oh, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I'm checking in here. I know it's been a while. But I'm checking in here because I've been absent. All right, I've been on my own spiritual journey. I've been between life, between work, between adventures, folks. I've been having genuine fun adventures. Our pre-orders back on the menu. Oh, that's a good look at you, Martin, coming in with a good question. Or look at that. If you're asking me if I broke my no nut pre-order pledge of 2024, no, I purposely set a personal goal for myself to whittle down my pre-order spreadsheet, my Google pre-order spreadsheet, because I was getting seriously friggin' annoyed at having pre-orders dating back from 2022. And it was just making it near next impossible to manage. It wasn't fun. You know, I had to disengage my GoPro camera. Oh shit, now I did it. I had to disengage my GoPro camera because I'm using it tomorrow for a special project. So I'm using the wife's web camera. So hopefully it's not too different. Maybe I think even the audio may be even coming a little bit different. So that's why I'm going to do something special tomorrow. I'm going to do a bit of review. No Nut 2025 incoming. All right, we're going to start the live stream with that. We're going to talk about what happened yesterday, right? Eric, good, genuine surfer, still believing in me. Oh, thank you, Eric. Thank you for believing. Again, I'm so sorry to hear about your mother. Is honestly my sincerest thoughts and prayers goes out to you on that. Thank you for still believing in me. I've never left you guys. I just tend to get distracted, and I like to come out of the shadows for specific reasons, right? Don't be rocking a mohawk, make it happen. Hey, look, it's gonna, you know, things are gonna be different here for 2025. Still playing with the DeLorean in the desert, probably, and then some. I don't see why not. Thank you. I wasn't sure because I'm using a different camera and the audio. StreamYard did something freaking different and so forth. All right. Enough of the banter. Let me grab my Mountain Dew. Yesterday was the pre-order for the Winter Soldier, the Artisan Winter Soldier. And that genuinely, folks, was going to break my pre-order spell. Like, I've created an embargo. I'm like, all right, 2025, I need a genuine reason to go into my spreadsheet and add a genuine pre-order. And I'd always wanted a Winter Soldier. It's one of my regrets, folks. It's actually one of my regrets that I sold. I had the original Winter Soldier and I sold it. I got greedy at the time. This is what, 2017 or something. I sold it for profit. And as the years went on past 2020, I had two regrets. I had two figures that I genuinely regretted selling. And it was the Nightmare Batman. I got blessed. And then it was the Winter Soldier. So it's no brainer. I'm going to pre-order the Artisan Winter Soldier. So what happens? I was not able to pre-order the Artisan Winter Soldier. Every time one of these Artisan drops, you have to change, you have to move buildings. It's like you have to drop your personal life, and if you don't revolve around this specific time issue of pre-order an Artisan, then shit on you. Then it's just it was folks, it was a fucking outrage, because all right, and this isn't the first time it's happened, because every time there's an Artisan drop, I shit you not, folks, I'm on an adventure. Let's rewind the story here. Okay, so my wife works in the trade industry, and she helps manage and oversees one of the popular trade shows that visits Las Vegas. And you cannot visit this show on a what's the word I'm looking for? Consumer level. You have to be within the industry to attend this show. And the show that I'm talking about is called SHOT Show. And I don't want to use the word, because I made a mental note, because I don't want my video to get demonetized. But any of you out there who are aware of this specific show, right? You just can't buy a ticket. You have to be invited or be within the industry X amount of time and register. SHOT Show is the biggest show, I would probably say, in the world, that showcases its products. And the products that it showcases, it's ARMS. I'm having trouble spelling here. They showcase the latest and innovative. I think I can say arms. Yes, yeah, I think I can say. I just can't say the G word. And not, but I'm not I'm not an enthusiast towards arms. I love gadgets. I love technology. I love camping. I like going out in the outdoors. I like the innovative products. Yes, ugly. Yes, right there. Right. So my wife goes, "Hey, it's been a while, and I'm friends with the show administrator. Would you like to attend?" She goes, "Would you?" Because my wife has a heart 3 times bigger than me. She goes, "Would you and Sean like to attend SHOT Show?" And I told her, I go, "I'll bet you Sean doesn't even know what SHOT Show is." Sean, for you folks out there, he's AKA Mr. Hadelorian. And I go, "Yeah." I go, when I reached out to Sean, and I go, "Look, we have 2 days we can pick between Wednesday and Thursday. We can attend SHOT Show." I could have gone either Wednesday or Thursday. And he goes, "Thursday." Sean picks Thursday. But again, this is early in the week. This is Monday or Sunday. We did not know that the Artisan Winter Soldier was going to drop on Thursday. So I call up Sean the night before, and I go, "How do you want to do this?" I go, and how do you want to plan out SHOT Show? Right. For those of you, I think here, this is what SHOT Show is. This is SHOT Show yesterday. This is where I was yesterday. And I'm going to try to butcher. He's at work, and the plan was that he was going to sneak out of work. But his main concern was pre-ordering the Winter Soldier, the Artisan Winter Soldier. And I go, "Well, I'm going to do my darnest to pre-order the Artisan Winter Soldier." I go, "I haven't been to SHOT Show in years, and I look forward to this. I got the whole day off, and there's 4 floors of exhibits and products and such." I go, "This is kind of important to me." Not saying that the Artisan Winter Soldier is, but I go, I got there early, and I did an internet test. My AT&T Google Pixel, I was clocking in 150 megs of speed. Like, there was no dead spot on that exhibit floor. So I entered the queue at 9:59, and I ended up at position 4,800. is where I was at. 4,800. And I go, okay, I'm going to enjoy the show. I'm going to walk around this floor and I'm going to enjoy it. Right. So Sean's at work and he goes, he sets up 3 or 4 multiple different windows in his job and so forth. And he's able to score the Winter Soldier. And it just kind of, it's wild though, because I mean, how many collectors out there are abusing that advantage? I was on the floor, right? This is where I was when the Artisan, and I shit you not, folks, this has happened to me before with the Jack Sparrow Artisan. I was at San Diego Comic-Con. It's like every time these Artisans drop, I'm on an adventure. I could I have stayed at home and opened up multiple windows, choose the pre-order and spend most of my morning, or enjoy a hard to attend event like SHOT Show? I chose adventure over substance, and I was clearly punished for it. Sean did not. He stayed at work and he scored it, and I ended up getting him. I got him a badge. The missus got him a badge, and he was not able to attend SHOT Show. Something happened at work that he wasn't able to attend. So I did the whole floor all by myself, even though he could have chosen this. But I mean, work happens. I get it. So what do? Well, I end up on the wait list, and I go from there. What can I do? Right? Even after I got in, I still had to wait almost an hour. As I'm walking the floor, looking at all the exhibits and stuff, this error message kept popping up. Looks like someone else has this in their cart. Wait a few minutes and try again. I go, this is outrageous. Like, I'm a genuine customer. I've always been faithful to my pre-orders. I get it. There's an X amount of numbers associated for the Winter Soldier. And I did my darnest. My phone never lagged. And, I, out of the 4 or 5 or 6,000 people on there, how many of it was legit? How many of it was bots? How many of it was multiple screens? I don't know. I don't know. It's frustrating. It's a little bit stressful. I'm gonna when's the figure out? June 2026. So I guess I'm not going to sweat over it. I'm going to cross that bridge in middle of June 2026 when I get to it. I chose life. I chose a fun day at SHOT Show. And again, it's wild because this isn't the first time this has happened to me. Like every time one of these artisans drop, I'm genuinely unable to. But here's the thing though, I entered the queue a minute before 10 a.m. I guess I couldn't game the system. I didn't have that luxury to game the system like other collectors do. And then here's the crazy thing too. I put myself on the wait list because at this point, I don't give a shit which version I get. I'm pretty confident I'm going to probably get accepted because I saw the multiple posts for folks who were on the wait list for Jack Sparrow who just kept getting picked because a lot of folks ended up not fulfilling their commitment to the Jack Sparrow artisan figure because it just happens, right? Life happens. And with these artisans, so this is a big fat pill to, I think collectors they don't give a shit of whether or not they can afford it. They're just, they want to secure one. and they're going to wait. They're going to worry about it or assume things get better in June 2026. I am being very optimistic. Look, folks, I'm going to be optimistic about this. At least my $43 isn't going to sit in a account for a year and a half, not accrue an interest. So it's one less thing for me to worry about. I can't. Here's my situation. When I start to worry about things like this, it becomes very stressful. And if collecting toys becomes stressful for me, I'm not having fun. This just isn't fun anymore. And then it feels like a chore. And I like playing with toys. I like collecting toys. I like being creative. One of my latest things I did is I got to enjoy USB hacking the Haslab, the ghost ship. I enjoy stuff like that. I enjoy anticipating my high-end toy arrivals, and it's extra points and it's extra gravy for me if I can modify it or have fun with it. Because the last, like that's one of the reasons I had so much fun making the DeLorean Mark III video, going out into an old abandoned ghost town, a tourist ghost town, that I was able to kind of review, play with the Mark III DeLorean, and get some really epic, cool shots. Like that's a lot of fun. I find that very, very enjoyable. This when I can't spend too much time on it. I can't look. I missed it. All right, Denomi, let's wait till June 26th. Because if I sit and stew about it, it just makes me mad. It doesn't make it fun. Comments. I've been monologuing here for a bit. Let's so look, Eric, in there for 40 minutes. Yeah, it was just like it'd be different for me if I was at home, but I got to attend a very hard to attend show, and I got to see a lot of cool gadgets and just I got to just see a lot of stuff and gloves that can they can't cut through, like stuff like this. To me, it's just like I drool over the stuff. Not so much on the arms side of the show, but like having hiking gloves that if someone decides to wield a knife at you and you can grab it and not be able to penetrate the glove. Like I find stuff like that wild. But that's where I was yesterday, folks, from like 8:30, from the crack of dawn till 4:30. And then I got home and I'm like, another missed opportunity. But regardless, though, the Artisan Winter Soldier was meant to break my No Nut pre-order pledge of 2025. It was going to be my very first genuine. But again, at SHOT Show, this is the stuff. Like this is the stuff that yes, that's a real piece. And it's just, and you get to play with it. You get to handle it. And it's, to me, it's fascinating that this specific event is now starting to incorporate IPs. Apparently people because of air people were able to buy one of the collector's editions and special edition. I see. So we had folks who were double dipping. So that gives me hope, because when it comes time to pay the piper, then I start to feel confident that that I will get a waitlist conversion. So, and there was no regular plastic version. I for the Winter Soldier, if they offered the plastic sculpted and then the Artisan, I probably would still go with the Artisan. Let's jump over to, let me remove this really quick. Let's go over here. Let's just jump into the Winter Soldier. All right, the Winter Soldier. The first one that came out, I mean, talk about falling apart, talk about disintegrating. If y- I mean, at one point during 2022, like the folks that were selling the Winter Soldiers, if it was coming from the East Coast, I would just automatically like, I'm not interested, because I came close to rebuying it, and then I said no. I like no, because majority of the Winter Soldiers that were for sale were falling apart. The pleather was peeling, parts were missing. They were coming out of Miami, and you're like, "Ew, who wants to buy Hot Toys coming out of Miami? Ugh, covered in seaweed, salt, and humidity. Like, no, not in my collection." So anyway, or worse, New Jersey. So between all the weather phenomenon that we're having, I'm like, no, I need something on the West Coast, not too far west, not too far California. I don't want ashes. I want the dry period. But all jokes aside, I stopped my search, and I'm like, I really want this guy. This guy is really really cool, and so I don't. Again, it's a little bit frustrating, but I don't think I'll have any issues acquiring an artisan version of the Winter Soldier when it gets finally released. Because if what you see, if what Wukong says is true, then you've earned my trust. That's what it is. Then yeah, I go. There were people that were absolutely abusing the system. I had two windows open on all two different phones at 840. Both windows were above 4,000 a line. I heard people were allowed to buy both versions. Okay, so that is because so then there were probably people buying two. But again, so here's the thing. It's easy to say you buy two, but when it comes time to pay the piper, this is $1,000 commitment, folks. I'm not saying that all the collectors that were able to score two aren't going to commit, but I find it hard to believe that it's going to be 100% conversion. If you were able to pre-order two of them, when those in, I mean, that's what shipping, what 430, 8% tax. You're at $20 ship. You're close to was it 430? You're close to 480, 490. It's almost a $500 figure. Like that's bonkers. So yeah, if this is the case, then you know what? I feel a little bit better now that I'm definitely going to get a waitlist conversion. It's still available on a Toy Sapiens. Thank you, Kaiju Daddy. Thank you. You never know. Yes, and that's what I'm banking on. You never know. You never know. People may cancel with. Yeah, so I'm not. I would have preferred to have had it on my spreadsheet. Now it's just something down the road that I have to watch out for. Your collection is at a point where you can risk missing out on some pre-orders. Memorable days are priceless. Oh, thank you. Yeah, meaning I chose adventure, or I could have stayed at or camped out in front of monitors. Again, this is, and it's crazy because it's not the first time this has happened to me. It's like every time one of these drops, I'm folks, I'm genuinely on an adventure. I really am. And hey, we never know what else ours might pop up. And mind you, though, I'm one of the most conservative artisan collectors there is. I don't lose sleep every time an artisan drops. I didn't chase down God Loki or how many, I can't even keep up. I didn't even score the Anakin artisan. I only have two artisans on my spreadsheet. One of them is Black Widow, and the other one is the Hot Toy, the Artisan Joker. That is, it's still processing. I don't even have the Artisan Joker. So in my collection, I don't even have an artisan figure. All it says is processing. Called up Sideshow on it a couple weeks ago, and at this point, I don't even give a shit. I don't even care if it processes or not. I'm like, I'm so over the whole Heath Ledger Joker fiasco. Like it's old. It's not even fun talking about it anymore. It's gotten, for me personally, it's gotten very sour. Not sure if you just talked about it yet, but secondary market is going to hurt maybe 7. See, this is how do you even factor in the secondary market for the Winter Soldier? I mean, that's counting your chicks before they hatch. Now we need the Artisan Nick Fury. You're joking. Okay, good. Good. KG. One thing that is right after it hit waitlist, now it's going for 7. See, it's bullshit. That's all. It's fake. None of that is real. Because you're going to get robbed. How can you sell a 1.5 pre-order when eBay's policies and procedures only protects the buyer for like 90 days? So it's a scam. And it's bullshit. So I would never encourage or even promote such wild $700 accusations like that on eBay. It's folks, it's bullshit. Up in Chile, Canada, with a bit of 303, never had to deal with flake, and what a relief. You're referring to the original Winter Soldier that, for a lot of folks, it just disintegrated. You think the people that got doubles were canceled? I think the folks, the hot toy collectors that ended up pre-ordering 2 of the Artisans are they're gonna probably cancel one. They're probably going to cancel the one that's least popular, which is the one for the 2000, because the one with the 1,000 is probably the one that's probably the more it's going to be sought out. For me, I don't care. I don't care with the shield or without the shield. I just won with his, with his locks, with his rooted hair, and that way I can then pre-order, or I can get the Cap Winter Soldier version of it because they're doing like a 2.0. So I'd get that. Yeah. So yes, do I think people? Yes, I would say, and I this is a wild opinion. I think about 50% of the people that took that road, I'd say about 50% are going to cancel one. I don't think they'll cancel both. I think they'll cancel one. Folks, it's $1,000 fat pill, right? It just is. Oh, we got street racing out there. Can you guys hear that? I have my windows open because it's wonderful. It's only 65 degrees outside right now. Surprised they didn't do a comparison photo to the original figure. Why? It'd be embarrassing. This makes the first one look like the poor cousin. I wouldn't even attempt that. This prototype to me is a work of art. This is just the 3 options to showcase his face, showcase his wavy locks. Everything about this to me is perfection. Like the sculpt, the stubble on the face, the wool hair implantation. Like this is what makes waiting for a 2.0 worth it. It is. If I still had the original one, would I still get this? I probably would. I don't have the original one, but I would absolutely still get this because, and then I would just, if I still had the original one, I would just sell it at a loss because the minute this drops, the first one's it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work very well. Savon Mason, you could also order double of the Black Widow Artisan. Did anyone get the Black Widows canceled? I'm keeping mine. I don't have time for pre-order games like this. Like no, like this is probably one of the reasons I'm not on Facebook, because if I saw stupid shit like this, it would annoy me. Like, why? Because it's such a high risk. Even if you intend to flip, you can ask for $1,000 on eBay. Or what I look at are closed auctions. Are people actually paying for that? Now, if the Winter Soldier is on eBay right now, people are like, it's a scam. It is 100% a scam. Eric, thank you for hanging out. Watch the rest tomorrow. Thank you so much. Catch the replay. Thanks very much, my mother and Pat. Yes. Next Monday, I'm going to Miami. I'm going on a cruise. Very nice. Okay, cool. Miami. There you go. I've been watching Dexter. So enjoy the cruise, dude. So, yeah, it's just, and then what's crazy too is that isn't there like 15 or 17 Artisan pre-orders, and Hot Toys just recently started shipping them out. So to have this feverish level of commitment, I mean, I guess it's a true testament. I mean, Hot Toys really has cornered the market on this, right? You folks out there were bitching about, fair competition with the other companies out there, right? Jazz Inc., right? Jazz Inc. is making 1/6 scale figures, isn't he? Making, is it Catwoman and Kim Basinger and some other stuff, right? Talk about a leap of faith. If you're one of those collectors that decides to pre-order that should be a surprise on its arrival. And then InArt, poor little InArt, right? Struggling to keep up with their estimated times of arrival. Having trouble making the figures, just making batches of essentially cookies and shipping them out months prior. I'm assuming they're still doing their. I'm assuming that InArt is still doing their favorites, right? And catering to the select privileged who's willing to bend the knee for them. I'm sure they're still probably doing that. So this is crazy. Like again, the like hot, like I'm happy for Hot Toys. I'm not. Jesus, they're really street racing out there tonight. Can you guys hear that? Can someone let me know? I'm gonna close my window. I'm not gonna. Hold on. That's some loud shit out there. All right, there you go. Where was I? Yes. So it's impressive that Hot Toys has, I mean, just what, in 2 years started releasing the Artisan line, and just the feverish commitment and loyalty that they've been able to garner in such a small amount of time. It's crazy. That was loud. Hey, thank you. That was pretty loud. That was wild. Yeah, we can hear it. Thank you. Yeah, it sure feels like it. I closed the window. So I had a few of my followers reach out to me because they started getting the Paul Atreides figure from InArt. And it's a great figure. Don't know what you're going to break down and get the, but I'm like, I go, why? All I have to do is hold my breath. And then when Dune Messiah comes out, you don't think Hot Toys is going to get on some of that Dune Messiah, right? I'm sure they'll come out with their own artists. It's not even chasing some of the stuff from the competitors, because all they're doing is stoking the flames over at Hot Toys, right? What, you don't think Hot Toys is going to make a artisan version of Catwoman? I'm pretty sure they are. Why wouldn't they, right? Why wouldn't they? So that's my tale on the Hot Toys exclusive Winter Soldier, and how I was not able to score one because of collector abuse. I don't even know. I need to move on from it, because the more I think about it, the more it just annoys me, because it's such, like, it's just the stupidity out there, and the fact that people are now telling me that you could have pre-ordered multiples out there. I'm like, most collectors, right? I go, you don't, to assume that you're going to be able to swing 2 versions of this in June 2026 is such a fucking leap of faith, right? You don't know what else Hot Toys is going to drop in this specific time frame. Not only that, though, but most of you wonderful folks out there are not just chasing Hot Toys. Most of you are chasing InArt, Jazz Inc., Haslab, Mondo, etc. There's still, well, assuming that some of these will still be around in June 2026. Jury's still out on a couple of them I mentioned. KG, still waiting on my InArt Superman from Spec. They took the final payment and I have to wait a month and a half because they're shipping it on a boat. That sucks. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. I'm going to type out something here because I'm going to jump into a different topic here, but I need... we're going to move into... price and... Sorry, I'm typing up something here because we're going to move to a different story. All right. Jump back to the comments here. What are your thoughts on the Winter Soldier's 3 arms? 3 arms. I read the details that they implemented some new R&D design. Like everything about this, like they saw all the flaws from the first one and they made major improvements. Not only that though, but did anybody talk about the height? Like the figure is taller. It's more muscular. They made it more beefier. The leather, the scale, like everything, like all of the negative issues from the first one, it's been resolved with this. So as far as the sticker price of $430, it's not great and it's not bad. I go, for what you're getting, I think in this current market, I think it's a fair price. So like they did everything right with this Winter Soldier. You're getting the rolling eyes. I mean, they should have just, is it a DX? It's Artisan DX plus Extreme. Like everything about this is just perfect. They just knocked out the park. Hence why I was ready to break my no-nut pre-order pledge of 2024 into 2025 and add this into my spreadsheet. So that was unable to happen. We're changing stories here. I want to talk about folks, we're going to talk about InArt. All right. InArt. Let's talk about InArt. InArt. So, if any of you who tend to follow me, I kind of ranted and bitched up a storm over Sun Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, right? The Monkey King. That InArt was responsible for making I guess the early version. They were making the early version of the Monkey King for their video game collector's edition. They couldn't keep up. There was just a lot of drama associated with that. They weren't able to fulfill the orders. A lot of folks over in Asia got their money back. Like it was a shit storm. InArt essentially dropped the ball. They probably did not anticipate that Black Myth Wukong, the video game, was going to be a huge successful hit. And because InArt is painted into a corner to a specific movie studio, right? Warner Brothers. That's their license, right? Warner Brothers. It's as a collector and my taste, it's still somewhat very easy for me to I guess discount them or discard them. They don't have anything that I want. They're limited to one studio, so Warner Brothers, and to their specific IPs. Right now, I collect DC. I have a pretty decent DC collection right over here. Camera's not showing it, and so the fact that they made like an InArt Superman and the Patterson Batman, all that stuff, and for what they're asking for, for me, the way I manage my collection, it just didn't make any sense. I'm like, they don't have any characters that I want. And a lot of you folks know I worship Dune. I have a jar of spice always at my desk right here. Look. You can see the spice flow. I'm not kidding. Look at that. Not kidding. I love worship Dune. When I go on my hikes, one of my favorite soundtracks is Dune 1 soundtrack and Dune 2, and then the expanded version from Hans Zimmer. Like when I'm out in the dunes and hiking in the desert and so forth, I get carried. And if I pop in a gummy, I'm like, oof, I'm gone, folks. I love Dune. I love the world of Dune. I love what Denny has created. I love the characters of Dune. Everything about it. The lore, the mythology. I even loved the Dune Prophecy HBO Max series. Fucking, I was foaming at the mouth. That show is the shit. My sister loved it too. My sister's not even a Dune fan. She's like, "Ah, that's a good ass show." I was like, "Yeah, I told you." Dune Prophecy on Max. So, but I'm very different though, because as much as I love Dune, I don't want any of the characters in 1/6 scale. I tend to be weird like that, right? I don't, those characters, like, I have no, maybe the only one that I would maybe want to add would be Paul Atreides, but even then, I don't really want Paul Atreides in my collection. I don't want those characters in my collection. They, for some reason, I feel it's hard to pick favorites. It's not like, let's just use Superman. Let's use Superman. Like, it's easy for, like, oh, I love Batman, I love Superman, and you just want to get the hero. You want to just collect Superman and maybe the villain. The A-list characters and so forth. And not saying that Dune doesn't have A-list characters, but the whole idea, for at least for me generally, it's the being carried into that world and so forth, and enjoying the mythology. I love Polish. I love the Harkonnens. I love all of that. But I'm different though. I would rather cosplay that world. I would rather be out in the desert in cosplay and sniff the spice and just be in that world and pretend I'm one of the families. It's crazy. It's just, but that's how I am. That's just how I think when it comes to the world of Dune. So let's go back to InArt. And I was disappointed at them that I was not able to score the Black Myth Wukong's The Monkey King, the video game edition. It just wasn't available. They couldn't make enough of the figures. Pissed off a lot of people in Asia and so forth. There's a whole story behind it. You can just Google it. It was a big shit show, and a lot of fingers were being pointed at InArt. So they announced the ultimate version of the Monkey King here. And I will absolutely I'll give credit where credit is due. I religiously played this game. This game was so friggin' addictive for me. Like I finished it. I finished both engines, and this game was brutal. It was hard, and I did not give up. Like, I remember being up till like 3 a.m. Like, this game was just fantastic. The story, the mythology, the characters, the voiceover work, everything about this game was fantastic. Like, I wanted to visit this world. I wanted to be there and just witness these epic battles with these gods. And the character of Wukong was just fantastic. This prototype that's being showcased by InArt, it looks glorious, folks. I will say it's quite beautiful. And I was very, my eyes when I was going through the uniform, like, the attention to detail was so important in this, because this detail was in the game. They threw this amount of detail in the game. So for them to go with this final version of his costume, and for them to advertise that this is what they're going to deliver it's pretty damn impressive. Yeah, it really is. They finally got a professional poser, because these poses are 100% directly from the game. Every photo that was taken from Wukong is like, oh, this is it. they must have played the game, because some of these shots are directly from the game. Even this shot here when he's grabbing the crown from the river, that's pretty cool. I don't. The only, if I was going to say anything, I don't even think it's negative, but it would probably be the accessories, because you essentially when you're playing the game, you are leveling up this character, and he is collecting so many trinkets and ornaments that it would have been kind of cool. It would have been extra points to include some of those. And this photo here, it just gives the I forgot the water bottle name. It has a specific the gourd, right? Like, you could have added another version of the gourd. You could have added some of the ornaments, because my God, like, when you're battling these demons and gods, those ornaments were so key as to how you would stack up and level up the Monkey King per battle. So that would be the only thing, like, that'd be kind of neat. That'd be kind of neat. They at least include 2 versions of the staff. The staff can change a size and shape. Another extra point they could have scored were to have a floating cloud platform. Right, they included the rock base there, right? That's where he's there, and he's bitching at the gods. But when you get to this specific costume, to this uniform that he's wearing, he is cloud flying. He is flying through. I forgot the world of the heaven world. I forgot the name, but he is cloud hopping. So to have like a floating cloud base would have been kick ass. Clearly, this would have affected the price point for the actual figure, but it's not just the character. It's about how you as a collector, specifically because this is a video game character, how you enjoyed playing him and so forth. So they got the sculpt right, the costume is right. I just wish they probably would have added a little bit more accessories. Yeah, Suwon-kun, I mean, he is peppered. I get it. There's dozens of accessories. I get it. But all I see is the gourd. Let's be honest. It's the gourd is the only accessory, right? The gourd. And he has the staff. I get it. And he has the grasshopper helmet and the crown. A few ornaments from the game would not have hurt, or even a different version of the gourd, because you need special versions of the gourd when he's drinking the water to heal. But other than that, and then the cloud, I think the cloud display would have been kick-ass. That probably would have done it. Now, damn, that's a badass photo. The question is, am I going to pre-order him? I don't believe in InArt. This is an attractive figure, if I do say so myself. The problem is that I don't trust InArt. They still have issues that I've witnessed and I've seen that's still plaguing the company. They still have the 3 issues: distribution, their price points, and their manufacturing. This is why I still believe that InArt can still fail. They haven't cracked the distribution issue. Wasn't somebody in the comments right now just bitching about spec right here, right? KG, it's one of my from spec, right? Because of distribution. Their price point. I think it's just too much for what they provide based on the current market of other companies that are selling 1/6 scale figures. I'm on KG Hobby's website. Just giving an example. Now, I do looking at KG Hobby has the actual InArt, the Black Myth Wukong figure for sale for pre-order. They're asking $358, but for like example, the InArt Nazgul 1/6 scale figure deluxe version with the horse, it's $548. There's the Batman premium version rooted hair that they're asking $700 right here. Just kind of give you an example like that. I like no, not when Hot Toys is showing to the world that they can create a masterpiece for $430. Talking about the Winter Soldier. Their price point and for what they deliver, folks, it's out of control. It's outrageous. It just no. The InArt Aragorn $445 on KG, but KG Hobby does charge shipping. So this is a $500 figure. So if you want to build the Fellowship, right? Get the whole gang together. What are you looking at? $4,000, right? I mean, fuck the Hobbits alone. If they release the Hobbits, are what, $1,500? You know, you need Frodo, you need Sam, the twins, Pippin and whatever. Then Legolas, and then the dwarf. So like no. Now I get it. There are folks out there that worship Lord of the Rings. I've never been. I enjoy the films, but Lord of the Rings, this medieval dragons and fantasy, it does, for my opinion, just for me personally, it does fall into in the category of Dune. Like I enjoy the films, but not to the point where I need a $500 version of Aragorn or a 525 of Legolas. Like no, it's fucking Orlando Bloom. Get the fuck out of here. What's he done recently? He's not Keanu Reeves. He's not Johnny Depp. No, folks. No. Manufacturing. So distribution, price, manufacturing, 3 issues. Manufacturing. InArt still makes figures in batches, and you have to almost be in a lottery picking to be part of being able to get that first batch, second batch, or so. Their manufacturing is still a big challenge for them. Not every overseas manufacturer ships the InArt figures on time or on a regular, consistent schedule. When you're a high-end toy collector, and there's multiple companies out there that are trying to woo you and take your money from you, and you are creating, I hope most of you are, I doubt, and you're looking at a spreadsheet. I go, it is a huge challenge to the collector to manage your spreadsheet accordingly, because you just don't fucking know when you're going to get your figure. And these aren't $200 or $300 figures. These are near big ticket items. It is it's awful. It's awful. Distribution, price point, manufacturing, distribution. Who can you trust, or who's going to be able to get your figure to you at a timely manner? You can pre-order it through InArt. You can pre-order it through KG Hobby. There's a few others, 1/6 Kit, and then in the U.S., right, the U.S. customers that don't want to get screwed in case the rug gets pulled from underneath them, you're going to go You're going to go through spec fiction, right? And I get it, spec fiction is slow, but as a U.S. collector, when you're taking this type of risk, $500, $700, you don't want. It's just not very smart to rely on an overseas reseller for this amount of money, especially since most of them don't just collect 10%, right? They collect a huge deposit, right? 20, 30% and such, right? What does 1/6 kit collect? So spec fiction is always going to be probably the one that I'm gonna promote, and I'll confess I am affiliated with spec fiction. So if you're gonna pre-order an InArt figure and you want to play it safe, yes, it's going to take a little bit longer, but it's going to be the safest way through spec fiction. So I am affiliated through spec fiction. So if you decide to pre-order any InArt figures, use my coupon code Denobi2 and you'll save $10 off. The other situation too is let me remove this, is that the InArt figures I've noticed are starting to be in stock. I've noticed that. Has anybody else noticed that? You can almost go to any overseas reseller now, and they have them in stock now. Let me pull up another one here. Let's go with Line Rock Toys. Line Rock Toys is an overseas reseller. I've noticed that a lot of these InArt figures are ready for ship, are in stock. Aragorn is in stock at Line Rock Toys. InArt is in stock. The InArt Superman is in stock. The Lord of the Rings, these are in stock prices. This isn't. I don't know how else you're doing it. What's the other one? The other one is there's another one, Toys Assembly, which I've actually used. I'm not affiliated with Toys Assembly, but they get their prices are okay, and when they say they have something in stock, they have something in stock. The Toys Assembly is also an overseas reseller too. I have used them, and I've noticed that even they have InArt figures in stock. So I did reach out to their management team, and so this is see here. This is what's in stock right now. So if you want, is Harry Potter really $700? Oh, this is the premium version. Are these little kids commanding 530? Holy shit. Folks, are you out there chasing the Harry Potter kids for almost $600, for $538? That's outrageous. The fuck? These little kids, and it's like year one, which are like the most annoying version of them. They're not even in their pre-teens yet, flirting with each other and shit in their little love triangle. What is this? What? 530? Wow. No. Harry Potter, why is he $700? Wow. At least but yeah, the InArt Superman is $459, which is about the going price, so forth. So it is tough, folks. I want the Monkey King. I most likely need to pre-order him, but I feel like Kylo Ren. Like I have to make a strong decision. I don't know if I have the will to do it. Like it's like that for me right now. But I just don't believe in InArt. So I'm caught in a moral crossroads. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I am genuinely lost because I want Sun Wukong. I want my Monkey King. Like this game, and yet they have something that I want. I feel like I need to meditate. I feel like I need to go out on a hike and absorb some of my the spices from Arrakis and think about this. Folks, I do not want my first pre-order of 2025 to be InArt. It should have been the Winter Soldier. Should have been the Artisan Winter Soldier. Should have been the first one. But yet, for me, it's looking like it'll be the Monkey King. Kaiju Daddy coming from Japan. Have you seen my video of the Monkey King? Do I need to see the video, Kaiju? Because this is I want this figure. So I don't need much convincing. What my issue is that I don't trust InArt. They haven't made any improvements, and it seems that a lot of collectors in the community just tend to overlook their challenges and their issues. And I don't believe in rewarding bad service, bad behavior, bad. It's been several years. Every retailer gets different timed allotted batches of their product, and that just isn't right. It's not like Hot Toys where Sideshow gets it and everybody in the US gets it, or in Asia everybody gets it. It's like if you're not making some sort of back alley deal with them direct, right? You're not going to get the figure first. Like that's wild. Like I can't believe that's and then because multiple retailers carry the product, right? Because of distribution challenges, everybody has their own wacky price. Like there's not a set price. It's not like with Hot Toys where you know what the Asian price is, and then once it gets to Sideshow, you factor in the Sideshow tax. No, with InArt, it's like it's a different price point as to who decides to carry the product. So who's going to get it first through distribution? Price points are out of control, and then manufacturing is that you have to be part of the first batch clicks influencers to get it first. So they haven't. This is why I think they'll fail. But yet, I want the Monkey King. Oh no, I love it. I love it. I love it. Just do it. Do it. Do it. 10 points. All right, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to the Monkey King because I don't like making choices under duress. So let's change the topic here. Because if I pre-order him now, it's going to be under duress. I shit you not. All right. I have not gotten my invoice for the Dewback. Has anybody in the US have they've been charged or I go because I want to go out in the desert and I want to play with the Dewback. Like the weather's perfect right now where I live in Vegas. And I got these great locations and locales where I would love to recreate stormtroopers hunting down Jedis on their Dewbacks and shenanigans. So anybody out there, I've not gotten my invoice on this, but I got to tell you, I'm tempted because I want to, but these things are the size of a family pet. So if I buy 2 of them, I don't know if I'm going to be able to display them properly because I am genuinely running out of space. Not yet, still waiting. Okay, good. I just wanted to make sure because I haven't gotten, but like the weather's just been gorgeous out here in Las Vegas. And I'm like, man, I like to me, there's nothing more fun than doing like an unboxing type review on location, specifically where a product coincides with the region that I so happen to live in. And I'm like, oh, I live in a desert. I'm like, this is cool. Like to be able to go out and like this is all on someone's desk with a computer monitor in the back. I'm like, like fuck that. I can go out on location. I got dunes out here, man. I got the pit of Carcoon, the Sarlacc coming out. I have all of that out here. I'm like, I would love to. And I could only imagine that the Dewback would just look great under true light, under beautiful sunlight. So, and it's not hot yet, and the stuff's not going to melt. So I can't wait to get a Dewback. This is on my pre-order. The deluxe Stormtrooper Dewback, it's on my pre-order. So I can't wait to receive it and remove it, get more module cases. And that's, I am buckling at the seams, dude. Christopher, I've ignored the safety protocols, and I shit you not, I've started to throw away so many during the holidays last year. I was throwing away the art boxes. I threw away the DeLorean, the Mark III DeLorean shipper box. I'm like, I go, this is going to be with me forever. I threw it away. Like I've been throwing away boxes, art boxes, just to make space. I'm pretty sure that the Dewback, when it arrives, the box, it's going to get chucked. I go, there's just no way. There's just no way. This box is going to be huge. I've seen someone posted a photo of it on Instagram about the actual size of it, and it's just wild on how big and massive it is. The Dewback can't get into my collection. I'm with you, Wayne. It's definitely, it was right under the DeLorean Mark III. The DeLorean Mark III was my most anticipated big ticket item for 2024. Right underneath it, it was the Dewback. It was. I'm like, God, I hope the Dewback shows up for Christmas. I can go out in the desert, do a nice little cool on location review in the sands. But no, it did not arrive. It did not arrive. Throw this, but yeah, that's it. I I probably have thrown away about, and I'm keeping certain boxes, but even then I'm still finding myself like, Denobi, why are you keeping these boxes? Like I've just been chucking them. I've been resorting to Ziploc bags. I am restricted to my room, and I don't want to give Module Case any more of my money, folks. Like I don't like them anymore. I don't. They keep lying to us about their improvements that they've done. Like they're full of shit. Like you give them a ton of your money, like large amounts, and you get your a year later. And the problem is that by the time you get your stuff later, your collection's already evolved, and it's just no. As far as I know, Module Case, their improved time was a lie, and there's like there's still. Not only that, though, they've also had some price increases. What is Brian out there cutting the aluminum extrusion rods himself? Is he sanding the acrylic panel? I don't know. The Dewback. Let's get back to the Dewback here. These shots here. This right here. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe I want to do back because I know you can. I just don't have the space. I mean, this thing is going to be a lot bigger than the blurg, and we saw what happened. You know what? I'll wait. Maybe if I wait, the regular one version of this Dewback, it's going to end up down the path of the blurg. Remember, like they couldn't give away the blurg. The poor blurg, they made 3 different SKUs of the blurg, and it was like on a daily deal for forever. nobody wanted. It was just, and it's a fun beast of burden Star Wars character, but if you don't have the space for it, like it could be very cumbersome. It was just takes up a lot of space vertically. It was just so I'm now that I'm telling this, I'm talking out loud about it. I'm like, the Dewback may go down that same path too, you know? Yeah. The blurb was announced during a different time of collecting. This ain't gonna sit. I hope not. I hope not. I know there's two, but there is two SKUs to the Dewback, right? There's the deluxe with the trooper, and there's the regular. There's where you can buy the Dewback separate. So, from what I understand, my philosophy: two SKUs, the shit will sit. So, but nonetheless, though, even though I want another Dewback, if I get it for a deal or not, it wouldn't be the end of the world. The Dewback, I don't know. I don't know. I have the Ecto ones. I don't. I tell you what, though, the Dewback would probably fit in my corner units very comfortably. Yeah, I believe the Dewback. Wow, look at that, 31 and a half long, give or take. Jesus, that's long. That's eating up some serious display volume there. 31. That DF 120. That's from like from like nose to tip. Yikes. That is. It's been a while. I mean, the Dewback's been delayed for so long. I forgot the measurements. I just knew it was a big figure. And again, I saw some folks on Instagram posting the size of this. So, but yeah, this is definitely one of my anticipated figures. The blurg is a big old turd compared to the original Beauty. Very well could be. I mean, so it's just like I said, it sucks though, because let me show you out here. I'm gonna so like I just want to be able to get that, just to show you, like, yes, I live in Las Vegas, but like the environment that I'm surrounded with in under 100-mile radius is bonkers, folks. Like, if I want rocks, if I want snow, I have a mountain here that it snows during the wintertime. I have access to dry lake beds. I have access to pure like dunes of Arrakis, like right here. I'm not kidding. So I wasn't joking when I was telling you about my Dune story, that when it comes to the world of Dune, I would rather be in cosplay, snorting the spices, jamming to the music, the soundtrack, than to actually collect the actual 1/6 scale figure of Dune. But I just so this Dune here is like less than 100 miles, like 80 something miles away from Vegas. But I mean, it's pure, like, it's out there. I mean, it's crazy. And I remember when I took my my cousins, they were just blown away because my cousins are from Massachusetts, and I told him, "Hey, do you want to go visit the dunes?" He's like, "What do you mean dunes?" Like, my favorite cousin has lived in Massachusetts for 20 something years, and he visits me, and I'm like Arrakis, like Dune. He's like, "Really? You have access to that in Vegas?" I go, "Yeah, I do." And so he was blown away by it, and he couldn't friggin' believe it. So I ended up taking him and his family and his kid, and he was just like blown away by it. So Dewback dimensions. Yeah, see, that's huge. That's just bonkersly huge there. But nonetheless, it's definitely one of my favorites. Let's see. What else we want to talk about here? We've had some releases, and I tend to come out of the shadows for exciting stuff, and it's really hard. Like why? I see stuff like this, and I'm just like, who is this for? because there's so much Hot Toys Batman characters that have just been recently released and in pre-order, and these type of, I mean, this is, I call this a cash grab. Like it's all to make money. But when I look at this, all I can think about is like, well, nobody bought the first one. Why would you want a different variant color of Batwoman, where the original one was on like was on the daily deals for Sideshow for what, almost a year? I see this and I'm like, who's this for? Like, but I mean, I get it. There's probably a small minority of hot toy collectors who worship Batman, that would love to get everything Batman IP oriented. Hate Lauren. Hate Lauren. So I guess it caters to that specific minority, but like this doesn't do anything for me. Like I have the original one. I love the original version of this. It's based off of the Arkham games, Arkham Knight, right? Arkham Asylum, or Arkham. It was like the third game. It's a great figure. Came with a lot of accessories. They nailed down the paint application, and but yet she wasn't very responsive to the community, and she didn't sell very well. So when this showed up, you're like, who is this for? I don't get this. I don't get this. But it's a beautiful figure. I mean, it looks great. I'm not a fan of this color palette. I know they pull this this tactic with the Christopher Nolan Batman, and I'm like, I passed on that. I'm like, who's like, no. We're still Hot Toys, because they had so many releases during the holidays. They finally were able to get their, because for a while they were averaging about 130 pre-orders. But I mean, during the holidays, they were brutal. They were just releasing 2 to 3, felt like 2 to 3 figure releases every week from the pre-order commitments. So I did check Sideshow, and they did finally bring it down to 114. As of today, there's 114 active Hot Toy pre-orders. So that's a big drop. I mean, that's at one point during the holidays, it was like 3.4 releases. Like it was crazy. Like what? Again, that's something that I was anticipating, because when you're in retail, right, it's all about balancing the books. It's all about getting the purchase orders committed, so that you, as a retailer or even a manufacturer, you can close out 2024 on a good note, right? So if you're public, company, or private, you can then showcase, hey, look, we had a great year. So I've never seen League of Legends, and I don't plan to. I just, nothing about this animated show does it for me. I know it's on Netflix. My kids were actually watching it. I watched 10, 15 minutes of them in the background. It just, no, I just don't. No, I don't. It's just not for me. This specific property is definitely not for me. I do recognize that Hot Toys is putting in a lot of work into this. I mean, it's a cool looking, attractive figure. I am happy that Hot Toys is going into video games, right? They're clearly expanding their portfolio, right? I mean, what else do they have? What, a Star Wars movie, or Star Wars Disney Plus, and that goes for Marvel, right? 2 of the biggest IPs have been sputtering for the last couple of years. So kudos for Hot Toys for expanding their portfolio, going into the video game sector. So if you're a fan of this, more power to you. I'm happy for you. It just, I don't know who she is. It doesn't really do much for me, but I guess I've seen some of the comments when she was announced through Hot Toys, that people were just blown away by her. So I'm going to go with the public opinion and say that this is a win for this specific crowd that is favoring this specific character. Hello, Clinton. Thank you for joining. What's going on? What else was Like I mean, that's Photoshop and lighting effect. It'd be kind of cool if it did that though. So this would be like, again, it's not for me, and so I wouldn't have any interest. And this is something too. Just I'm going to springboard off of this specific character. There was just a lot of pre-order announcements through Hot Toys and releases, and I like to talk about. I like to when it comes to these live streams. I I like to be somewhat informative, somewhat positive with you wonderful folks out there, and provide very educated, constructive criticism. So it's I have no skin in the game chasing these Star Wars Disney Plus shows like Ahsoka or any of them. I have no interest in any of those shows. I haven't watched any of them. So when there's a pre-order announcement on them, I just honestly, I don't care. I'm not going to be a keyboard warrior and hate on because I think the show is trash. It's just, to me, that's just too much energy, and it's pointless. But I miss Marvel. I really do. I miss Marvel, and now hopefully Marvel is going to be somewhat corrected with the new film, with the New World Order, Captain America in New World Order. And I'm being very optimistic with this movie. Hopefully, once the critics take a look at it, it's positive enough in the Rotten Tomato meter that'll justify me to go see it in theaters. But I promise you folks that if Captain America and New World Order, if the rotten meter is stinking rotten, I'm gonna wait for Disney Plus to watch it. I will confess though, there is one character from the Captain America movie that is going to be a mandatory buy for me. That should be a no-brainer for anybody, right? 50 points. There's only one character I want from Captain America New World Order. But other than, like I said, even if the movie stinks and they release this character, I'm still going to get him. I'm still going to get him. Let me see. Back to, so we covered the Winter Soldier. Who's another character? We do. So again, I threw this on here. I threw this on here just to kind of show you, because I know there's been a ton of releases like, and I've had people reach out to me through Instagram. You're going to talk about it. I'm like, I didn't watch the Ahsoka show, so I don't even know who this character is to me. But like there's been so much Star Wars releases, like based on all these Disney Plus shows, like it does nothing for me. Like I don't have any hate towards or anything. It's just I just don't care. Like it's just I don't know who's buying this. Is there a consensus? Are people chasing this? Right? Yeah, Samuel, it's come on now. There's only one character I want, 50 points. It's so important for me to get like a brutal, aggressive Red Hulk. I mean, what they did to poor Bruce Banner and how they like cucked him, into like Dr. Banner, and they reduced his weight, and they like, ew, no, it's horrible what they did to Bruce Banner. So to have a real out of control Hulk based on Harrison Ford, like, that sculpt is just going to have his face, and he's going to like have that bitchy, like I hate life look. Like that's perfect. That's Harrison Ford. So, how Harrison Ford just hates life. I'll bet you though, like the fact that there's a good chance that the Hot Toy sculptures are going to be able to capture that. That's going to be perfect. Friggin' perfect. But yeah, the Red Hulk is the only one I want. I don't care for Sam the Falcon or who the new. No, I don't even know who the villain. Just give me the Red Hulk. That's it. That's honestly that's the only character you're gonna need. But yeah, it's Sam beat you, everybody. It's clearly gonna be the Red Hulk. Yeah. So, but yeah, that I had that figure there because of the. It's just tough. Let me see here. All right, so let's go to Instagram. let's hang out on Instagram here for a bit. Let's go to, we're in the hot toys. No one sleeps when 10 yes. And this is, there is just too many figures out or coming out to keep up with the pick and choose the win or lose. I 100% agree with you. Secret Mullet, man. There's too many of them. It's hard to, as a longtime collector, it's hard to filter out the wins and the misses, and everybody has their own choice. I get it. Everybody has their own what they're chasing for, but the problem is that the game has changed. At 100 and up until last week, they were Hot Toys was averaging 128 to 29 pre-orders. As of today, I checked, it's 114 pre-orders. That's a shit ton of pre-orders, not counting that's what is already in stock. Sideshow, the Sideshow has 129 in stock Hot Toys. Like, folks, it's genuinely out of control. Like, it feels like work. It feels like homework now. Like it was different where you had a few pre-order announcements through Hot Toys, and then you had like the schlocky companies, from the other side of the fence, toting their shit. Jazz Inc. and InArt and Mondo and whatnot. But now it's like people have lives. Paralysis by analysis for me as a collector now. Yeah, it's pretty good. The rent is too damn high. It's too many damn figures, right? And even if you can get majority of the figures, folks, I'm running out of space, and I've just come down to like it's all about tough. It's all about making the tough decisions. Like who's wasting their time with this? Like, no. The Hano Studio is 100% absolutely not for me. If this is a Kohl's economy brand that caters to you, more power to you. But like, this looks cheap as shit, folks. Like no, this looks like something Hasbro would make. Like the spandex and like the generic body underneath it. Did you see that stitching? It doesn't fucking line up. Like, no. And then for what you're asking for, isn't this a $250 figure, $280? Like this Hano line? No, folks. No, not like this. No. Ew, no. I don't know. It looks horrible for what they're. I think it's 280. Like, no, it's a huge travesty. This guy finally released the Spider-Man Across the Miles. I love Miles. I have 3 versions. I have 3 versions of Miles in my Spider-Verse, in my Max 140 case. I'm done. I'm done. I would rather focus more on the Spider-Man traditional suits, but I'm like, no, I don't want any more Miles. It's a great looking figure. I know this is based off of the sequel, but there's going to be more Miles down the road. So unfortunately, as I'm building my Spider-Verse, poor Miles Morales, he's gotten the axed from me. So he's just done. No. So there's nothing for me. There's nothing exciting. It's not a bad figure. It looks great. The spandex, everything on it, the amount of accessories, clothing. It's if this is your first Miles Morales, more power to you. I think if this was your first Miles Morales, grade A, fantastic. But if you already have multiple versions of Miles, like, no, there's nothing. I just don't see anything here worth chasing. Again, it's making the tough decisions when you're staring down the barrel of 130 plus pre-orders plus whatever else on the other side of the fence is distracting you. So My collection's getting to the point where if something is coming in, something has got to go. And you see, and I hate that. I hate that because I've tried. I'm shoveling things around in my room right now, and I don't want to box things up that I'm going to retire and then either A, hide it in the garage, or B, the cardinal sin, when go hide it in a remote storage. Like, no, no. Remote storage where you're paying a monthly fee is no. If you, and I know there's collectors out there that believe they don't have a choice, but there's always a choice. There's always a will, because years ago I had a remote storage, and you can, it's what it is that for the collectors who have the remote storage, they don't want to make the sacrifice. They don't want to. You have to throw away shit, or you got to sell it. So if I start retiring pieces from my collection to make space, I'm just going to sell it at a loss, whatever, or put it on eBay. If I make a profit, cool. If it's worth, it's just a lot of older figures I have that just aren't worth what they used to be. I just let it go. I'm not going to hoard it in a remote storage. But yes, Sir Wayne, I am with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you. That is a very common issue where, especially, you know what's wild, especially if you have like module cases and you're overdoing it on these exaggerated hot toy pieces, and then you're starting to box stuff up, and then you're either moving it to another room, to your job, or you're just like you're essentially hoarding shit. it's generally happening. I know it is. Yeah, like these pre-orders for Star Wars, they're like, no, especially now that they're going into the expanded universe. Oh, Jesus Christ! I mean, may mercy have on those poor souls that are devoted to that expanded universe. Yeah, more power to you. But yeah, they're going hard. I mean, they're going hard on that. Apollo 13 Bandai. I don't know what you're referring to. 1/6 scale. Need input on that. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to that. Dead Man. So this is the Artisan Dead Men Tell No Tales. This was, again, I'm telling you, when the Artisan pre-order for this was released, I was at Comic-Con. I was in San Diego Comic-Con. Now, I still want an Artisan Jack Sparrow. But here's my issue. Here's my problem. I have I've seen overseas online retailers that are discounting the sculpted version of Dead Man Tell No Tales Jack Sparrow, because there's 3 fucking SKUs to this guy, right? Everybody clearly wants the Artisan, but if you're willing to settle for the regular version, you can save below retail. So that's where I'm at on this. Like, I want this. Do I really, really want the Artisan, or if I settle for the regular SKU, I'll save a mint. And if I save a mint, I can then get more figures down the road. I can hoard more. So this one here is a big toss-up. I'm probably going to have to make a decision this week on this guy, 100%. Because I definitely do, because I have a Disney selection. I have a Disney section in my module case, and I have a spot right next to the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So I want another Jack Sparrow. The question is, again, Artisan or regular? Because, folks, if you are willing to forego the Artisan edition on Jack Sparrow, you're going to save a ton. Like, it's like 30% from what I saw. Like, it's wild. Not to mention that the regular version is probably going to sit. It could potentially sit in Sideshow, and it could end up as a daily deal. So how important is it for you to have those, the rooted? So we'll see. We'll see. This is a tough one there for me. So And I saw that folks were getting their waitlist conversions on the Artisan, and I never entered into the waitlist for the Artisan Jack Sparrow. I forgot. I wasn't. I already have a. The thing is, too, I have a Jack Sparrow already. I knew I was going to follow him down the road and get him, but when you have certain figures already, I have the DX one, the second version. It's the one with the mermaid version. This is Dead Man Tales. This is with this is the last one. I have the one with the mermaids, the tides or something. So, but I haven't ruled them out. Johnny Depp does 100% sell. He absolutely does. Do you think it's worth spending $1,200 on the Bandai Apollo 13 one? I've never seen this set. I am curious. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research on that. Thank you. It's on Stranger. It's the DX on Stranger Tides. I have it. It looks great in my display. So it's like I'm not in a rush to get another Johnny Depp. And again, it's picking and choosing your battles now, because I'm trying to manage my collection, and I don't want to resort what we just talked about earlier about reboxing old figures to make space for new ones, and either putting it under the bed, the garage, and remote storage. I'm trying to avoid that. I really, really am. Yes, I am busting at the seams. I'm not going to give Maju Case any more of my money. I've been throwing away art boxes left and right. So I got to come up with something. Hopefully the spring cleaning. I have some ideas. Plus I've been going bonkers on Hot Toy DeLoreans. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5. Don't judge me. I have 5 Hot Toys DeLoreans. They're peppered within my room, and I love them so. I mean, the Hot Toy DeLoreans are my kids. Now, I'm willing to make more space in my heart when I know that the Blitzway DeLorean is going to come in, or 1/6 scale diecast DeLorean. Oh my God, it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to usher in a new era of peace when the Blitzway DeLorean finally gets shown. So I love 1/6 scale vehicles that are made by Hot Toys. Let's not go down that road. Danobi, if Hot Toys acquired Star Trek, God, I hope not. If Hot Toys acquired the Star Trek, it would be game over for you. I don't know. X06 seems to be hoarding that license. They've been making some train wrecks of figures. I don't understand how X06 is still in business, folks. I shit you not. I don't understand who out there, if you have any respect and love for the IP and for like the classic characters and Kirk and all that stuff, like ew, the stuff that they've been like, no, it's awful. It's embarrassing. I don't think Hot Toys would ever touch Star Trek. Star Trek is just, they're just dying. The last thing I've pre-ordered, I'm looking forward to buying, is the Tomy Enterprise refit. So I love the ships. I'm a big, Tomy has been knocking it out with their giant ass scale diecast ships. I pre-ordered a few of those, and it's going to probably be a huge home run. But as far as X06 goes, I don't understand how they're still in business, to be honest with you. Like, who's buying that shit? Save your money and wait for the SpaceX rocket and chopstick model to be released. What, he'll be in a world of pain when he fails to give us a Jedi Daddy Jude Law. Oh God, no. So you're referring to Skeleton Crew. I actually watched Skeleton Crew, and I thought it was a cute show. And it's not going to be for everybody, right? You heard me earlier on that I haven't been supporting the Star Wars Disney Plus, but Skeleton Crew did capture my attention because they had two ingredients within that show that are present in the other shows, right? And two ingredients that I'm allergic to is the Skywalker story at this point, and anything that Dave Filoni is touching, because I am sick and tired of Dave Filoni trying to cram Ahsoka down our throats, at least my throat anyway. So I'm like, I'm done. Like I shouldn't have to do friggin' homework. I shouldn't no, and Rebels and all that stuff. Like, no. So anything that's associated with Dave Filoni, I just don't give a shit. Not hate. All right, I'm not a keyboard warrior out there to strike. I got better things to do. I'd rather go hiking, but I'm not going to waste my time. Like, it's just not worth it. So, Skeleton Crew omitted Dave Filoni's verse and the Skywalker story. You weren't cramming anything with Skywalker, so I thought it was a cute little show. It wasn't an A+ show, right? But it was fine. But do I want any hot toy characters from that show? There's only one. There is only one character I would absolutely pre-order, probably on day one, from the Skeleton Crew. Just one. It's an easy one. It's an easy character, and I can tell you it's not fucking Jude Law and his dumbass. Revenge of the. What are your musts for the Revenge anniversary hot dogs? Really teased in a video? Did they tease a video? Is it on Instagram? I'm not on Facebook. If it's on Instagram, I'll. Did I miss something? Is it in their reels? Which one is it? Is it the Star Wars celebration? Is it this one? I don't know. Folks, it's like homework trying to keep up with the amount of pre-order announcements and such. Now that's I'm sold on a Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Toy Store. I think it's more of those little Funko Pops, right? Lilo and Stitch. I think that's more of those vinyl Funko Pops. 90 Years of DC. Is it this one? Is it this video? I apologize. It's hard. I'm telling you, there's just so much stuff to follow. If you can tell me which one, I mean, I'm on Instagram's Hot Toys Reels. I don't know that what have they teased for the Revenge of the Sith? Is it this one, the Carmen Run It? No. We saw that one. No, I don't want that. Symbiotic. Is it this one here? Hot Toys. The Joker? Oh, that's their pinned versions. Okay. This one here? Maybe it's this one, Deadpool? I'll take a look. It's the logo. It's the logo one. Okay, hold on. Maybe it's the logo. You said the logo one. Logo one. Which, that's not logo, like Hot Toys logo, this one? That's it. Don't trip. This one here? All right. Sold. If Doctor Doom, is that from the Hano? I like that Tony Stark. Scarecrow. I've never seen this video. Terminator, no. Aliens, no. Easy pass. Beetlejuice, most likely. I do like that Suicide. The one with the Star Wars Celebration video on it. Oh, thank you. I haven't seen this video though. Pass on the Joel Schumacher Batman. I'm not wasting my time with anything that Joel Schumacher has touched. Hano Studios, an easy pass for me. I'm not wasting my time with that. You said Star Wars Celebration. All right, let's go here. Let's take a look. Star Wars Celebration. 20th Anniversary Revenge of the Sith. Captain America Brave New World. Fantastic. Okay. So what was that one? Thunderbolts. Okay, so it was that one. So the Star Wars so for the Revenge of the Sith, they've teased a few of their prototypes for the haven't they? We know we haven't tried finish. Denobi liked the skeleton crew. Someone scanned this man for an implant. KK definitely brainwashed this man. No, I'm a harsh critic. Thick Panther. Well, I'm a very when it comes to, but I don't discriminate. I'm pretty harsh even on Marvel too. Again, if you listen, it's a no brainer. It's they did a couple things right. They did a few things. They did a few things right with the skeleton crew. But there's only one character I want from the skeleton crew. If Hot Toys decides to take a leap of faith and release it into a pre-order, Revenge of the Sith, 20th anniversary. We're getting the Droidicas. Another Obi-Wan Kenobi, maybe. Who? Pregnant Padme? Like, there's not a lot for another Yoda. Like, Revenge of the Sith is a tough one. Dark Side Anakin. I see. It's hard for me to get, and I get it. There's folks out there that are clamming for a Dark Side. I have Dark Side Anakin already. I'm sure there's going to be a better version of it or something, but it's not like I'm losing sleep over it. Like, I have it in my collection. It's like if I have a bingo card, I already have it. I can check mark it. I've been there, done that. But it's a better one than Obi. I get it, but I still got my check mark still qualifies. It's what I explained earlier in the live stream when it came to the Winter Soldier, the Artisan Winter Soldier. That if I had the original one, I would still go for the 2.0 Winter Soldier because they've made technological R&D improvements. What type of technological R&D improvements can they do for a Dark Side Anakin other than rooted hair? Let's be honest. I mean, let's play devil's advocate. If they announced an Artisan Dark Side Anakin, I have the original one. I think it's fine. What type of technological achievements can they do other than yak hair implanted on the skull? With the Winter Soldier, like, holy shit, they went from top to bottom, and you have 3 different poses on his face alone, rolling eyeballs. You can have with the mask, with partial mask, without the mask. Anakin is just his he'll have his angry, bitchy looking face with his Goldilocks. What improved, like the robe? It's the exact same, what, the USB lightsaber? I'm being very fair here. I'm not trying to, I have a genuine, like, there is a huge reward for me to get the Artisan Winter Soldier into my collection. If they release an Artisan Dark Side Anakin, and you don't have a Dark Side Anakin, I could see the benefit for you as a collector to add that specific character into your collection. Makes perfect sense. Denobi, I've always wanted a Dark Side Anakin, and I missed on the first one. Then you know what? Kudos to you. I'm happy for you that you were able to score a really cool version. What did they improve that in my situation, been doing this for such a long time now, over a decade, that would force me in an already saturated, crowded market. Remember, we're looking at the barrel of 100. To me, to justify to cram that specific, right? I don't. So if they released a Dark Side Anakin, cool. I'm happy for you, wonderful folks out there. I most likely will probably pass on it. I would rather chase another Jedi from the Revenge of the Sith. But they've already announced, what? Aren't we getting like Emperor Palpatine, right? They've already a Yoda, a cut version of Yoda who gets his ass kicked by Palpatine. We're ready. I mean, we got Grievous, General Grievous on pre-order, right? A die-cast, right? So Yeah, we got Plo Koon. That's what I'm saying. So as far as what they would announce, I can't imagine anything coming out of left field that would like, whoa, stop the press. Let's wake the president. Like they've given us Grievous, the Droidicas, Plo Koon, uh, I, I, maybe an Artisan Kenobi, I guess. Hmm? Magnetic rolling eyes. I mean, I guess. I mean, okay. That's one check mark of improvement features compared to the other artisans. Like even the Artisan Black Widow is a technological marvel. Like they're improving everything. Like her spandex suit, like deteriorated throughout the years. Like that figure was just shit. Like, but you get to the Dark Side Anakin, it's just released what 2017. That figure still holds up, and you still have the floating droid display base on it and such. So it's a tough call, but again, everybody has to make their own decisions here. Everybody's managing their own collection accordingly. I'm just talking from where I'm at. I go, I don't see any true justification to add an Artisan Dark Side Anakin to my collection. But if you want to get every Jedi out there and you have the space and you can swing it, hey, more power to you. More power to baby Luke. It's what I'm saying, like baby Luke, like pregnant Padme. Like, how's that gonna look? Uh, I would want the super shiny, reflective C-3PO that is shown in Revenge of the Sith. Be kind of cool. I'd be down for that. I'm all about the droids. I would be down for a reflective because that's the cleanest C-3PO that we'll ever get, other than the dirty version from Return of the Jedi. So yeah, I would be down for a shiny, chromy C-3PO. Does R2 do anything weird? Like, no, in Revenge of the Sith. I don't think so, right? He flies in part 2, but he doesn't fly in part 3 in Attack of the Clones. So, yeah. You know what I'm still hoping for, and I have never lost faith on it, is the Hot Toys 1/6 scale Jedi Starfighter. I still think that's coming out. I still think it's coming out, especially now that Disney and the Hot Toys Gestapo finally shut down the illegal operations over at Jazz Inc. Incorporated. I think I think Hot Toys was involved with that with Disney, and they paid Yost a visit, right, in the tulip fields. They were probably looking for like the bent windmill, right, where all the Batmobiles were being milled through the tulip fields in the gourd. And so Jazz Inc. is gonna stay within his lane and stick to making more Batmobiles. I mean, that's his forte, right? You can just keep pumping those things out, right? Just 3D printing those bitches. That Jazz Inc. announcement is exactly why we should expect it. Yeah, I go, if there's ever been more than enough reason to expect the Jedi Starfighter to go into pre-order is that the fact that they found Yost hiding under the basement of the windmill in the Netherlands, and Mickey, shining the flashlight overhead, Saddam Hussein style, and Howard Chan. Man, they shut him down. It's they're, can you imagine making, yeah, you keep fucking with us, huh? You keep making our shit, So I'm assuming he's going to pivot now and pump out more Batmobiles, because you folks love those Batmobiles. So they should. Lego has made some Jedi Starfighters and I love them. Yeah, I haven't ruled it out. I won't rule it out. I have the Human Torch up here, and I had people reaching out to me at the time this was announced. This is a few weeks ago, but I still stand firmly on the ground when it comes to Deadpool 3. I knew when I saw this movie, and I enjoyed it, seen it twice, loved the film. I knew that Hot Toys, and the fact that it broke $1 billion, I'm like, oh, Hot Toys is going to go Spider-Man No Way Home crazy. And I'm still sticking to my guns. I only want one character from this movie, and it's the deluxe version of Wolverine, and that's it. I don't need another Deadpool. I don't need Old Man Blade. I don't need X-20. I don't need any like Human Torch. And this doesn't even look like Chris Evans, mind you. I'm sure they'll make improvements down the road, but it's not. It doesn't even look like him. So it's a farce. Like who? Who the fuck is this? That's not him. So they're gonna keep pumping out more from Deadpool 3. And I just don't care. I have no love, but I also I don't have any hate either. Like I see this, I'm like, no, 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 just regular yellow suited Wolverine, and the clean version too. I don't even need the one where he's the dirtied, where he's showing. Just like, no, I don't know. No, I don't. Just one, but I get it. The film was a huge success, and it's not very often that Hot Toys gets a Marvel hit. So it is in their best interest to capitalize on this film. I completely understand. And it makes sense. Makes sense. It's not like there's a Marvel hit every year. So they have to take their wins where they get it. And yes, you're going to see like this year, like nice pool. Like, no, it's a great sculpt. I love the color palette on the suit, the red hues. Like it pops with the lighting. Like this suit looks great. But again, like, no, I have one Deadpool. It's Deadpool from part 2, and I'm fine, and I can move on. Like, no. No, I don't care for Lady Pool. Especially now that she's caught in like isn't she getting canceled? His wife? Like, aren't we supposed to hate her or something now? Or isn't she getting canceled? Like, but regardless of that, no, I don't need the family. Like, no, it's not for me. They look great. I think it's cool that Ryan Reynolds is involved, and then like the sculpted version of his face and the figures from the Deadpool films that are being announced. Even the old version of Blade looks great, but I'm not buying an old man Wesley Snipes. Like, no. It just, I don't care. I never cared about Blade. It's never been my cup of tea, so to say. So yep, just one character from Deadpool, and that's it. I mean, that's honestly it. And then this guy's badass. This is the from the game. That's gonna be cool. The Flash version of Michael Keaton, I could care less. I have one Michael Keaton, the 89 with the Gargoyle Tower. I don't need another Keaton. There's too many Keatons now. There's too many of them. It looks great. It's a great looking figure, but I have one Michael Keaton. That's it. That's all I need in my collection. After a long while of looking at this nice bull, I would throw it across the room. That's pretty good. Yeah. But I mean, like, and then like the Flash film, even poor Supergirl. I never pre-ordered her. And I don't even know if I even want her anymore. Honestly, I don't even know if I want anything from the Flash movie. I thought I did. And I'm just like, I didn't pre-order any of that shit. So I'm like, maybe I'd be tempted to buy Supergirl if she goes as a Sideshow Daily Deal. If she ends up as a Sideshow Daily Deal, I can promise you I'll buy her. But I'm like, I don't really. The film has aged poorly. No one gives a shit about the characters. So if she ends up as a good deal, I'll pick her up and I'll add her and I'll give her a home. I'll take her in as a refugee, and I'll give her a home in my DC section. Yeah, I wouldn't put her like in Joker's Palace in the arcade, and and like the whole. I do have like a homeless shelter in my corner unit here, where I put like characters that don't have a home, and so they need like a halfway home. So, but I wouldn't do that to Supergirl. I'd put her in my DC collection. I would treat her like family, and I'd have her hang out with like the A-listers like Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill and such. So. I said is, will you order the red? Yes, that's guaranteed. Regardless if the movie's good or not, I've said it. The Red Hulk is coming home. Extra points for Hot Toys if they make the face sculpt of Harrison Ford crabby and bitchy and he hates life. That's perfect. That's the Harrison Ford I want. He's just tired of living. She is, but she's actually available on a few overseas retailers right now that can't get rid of her. So she's waitlisted on Sideshow, but you can still probably find her at retail. So she's not going to end up as a daily. So now, thank you. So now I know not to expect her as a daily deal through Sideshow, but I did see her overseas through some of the resellers. So she's not a highly sought out figure. Yeah. So, but as far as the Flash, that'd be the only one. And then the bike. I do like the bike though. I don't want the Batman though, but the bike is pretty cool. Because I like vehicles. That's a kick-ass bike. So I don't have the bike. I didn't pre-order the bike. The bike looks badass. So I would, if anything from the Flash movie, it'd be the bike. And then Supergirl. Yeah. And then we get down to, and then this is what old man. This is the Blade, and then more Storm. Like they can't print out enough fucking clone troopers to save their life. That's outrageous. So no. This is all an easy pass for me. All of these clone troopers, no. Nope. I'm done. Too many like this guy here. This is from the Solo film. What's wild about this guy is that most collectors weren't even a fan of the movie, but yet they all got swooned and bent over on their knees for this guy, which I thought was just wild. Like nobody bought any characters from the Solo because people were just so hateful towards that movie. I actually do have Han Solo from the Solo film. And I think I remember telling people in the live stream, I bought him because he came with a lot of cool accessories and he was cheap. I got him below retail. And he came with that pimp coat, which I thought was just fantastic. So I do have Solo, the deluxe version of Solo. But I just think it's crazy how people hated that film, but yet they did cartwheels for this snowtrooper, which is just, if you want to be honest, it's a kit bash from the regular shore trooper seen in Book of Boba Fett, right? Or the Mandalorian season 2, right? That gray trooper. It's just all he has is painted white with a fur top, but that helmet, my point is there's not a lot of brand new R&D other than the soft goods coat, but everything else is pretty much picked apart from other existing figures though. So the Solo looks awesome with the fur coat. Yes, I thought it came with a ton of really cool accessories, and I got him below retail. So to me, it was such a win. Yeah. You don't need it, but we need it. Yeah. So again, this was a timed exclusive, and I'm like, no. I think Nate geeking out. I think he sent me the link. I'm like, I'm not losing, work or sleep for this. Fuck no. No way. No. No sirree. And I think, and then an easy pass. I'm done with Schumacher. I don't need a Clooney Batman, and I don't need a Clooney. I don't need a Schumacher Robin. No. I don't care. Plus, I don't trust this vinyl epoxy material that Hot Toys is using, and they're forced to use it only because Joel Schumacher and his eccentric design of the suit is just, it's too much. So to me, it's an easy pass. I'm not I'm not. I'm assuming that if you went down the Jazz Inc. the Batmobile 95, this is, I guess, a mandatory buy for you. I'm sorry that you, but no, like, no, not doing it. Not doing it. Especially poor Chris O'Donnell hasn't had much of a career. Like, this is the film that killed his career. He didn't have a like that. This is it. So, yeah, it's sad. Like, so no. And I could just imagine they're gonna do Mr. Freeze and Poison. Like, no. Other than that, I think I am caught up. There's a DeLorean, and then the Jedis that they're gonna be releasing. Yeah, it's been a wacky holiday season, folks. It's been interesting, you know. Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm gonna be sharing my thoughts on. I'm gonna be doing a review on the Haslab the Ghost. It'll be a mix of positive and negative, but I have some issues with the Ghost ship. So they I'll save it for the video, but I'm gonna be I'll be doing a video on that tomorrow, and hopefully late in the afternoon, because I kind of want to go on location with the actual Ghost ship and film it and just do it out in the desert. I want to try to get some shots up there. But for those of you who are not aware, the Haslab, they released the Ghost, which is a 3 3/4 inch scale starship vehicle last year, right? It's been more than, it's maybe a year and a half. It's been a while. It's been more than a year. And it finally came out, and there's just been a lot of mixed results about it. And I wasn't planning on doing a review on it, on the Haslab the Ghost ship, but after USB hacking it and seeing some of like their misses, I'm like, they missed a lot. They could have done more. So I want to kind of talk about that. But for those of you who aren't aware, I took it and I USB hacked it. I added a ton of lights and just wanted to make it pop. I did it for the sail barge, and I did it for the Razor Crest. And it's fun. I love when Haslab, they release these ships, and I get to play with it. And this is what I'm talking about. Like this is like so meditative for me. You know how adults are going through this phase of coloring books? Like, to me, this is what I find soothing and meditating, is being able to hone my electronic skills and bring good things to life. So this was a fun USB hack, and I'm going to try to do a little bit of a review on it. And I want to take it out on location and get some shots, maybe in the daytime, maybe in the nighttime, and that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. But I will say, though, this is definitely one of my better jobs. Even like the engine, the way I was able to get the engines to glow was pretty cool. So this was pretty that was awesome. I wish I could be able to do, but I know it's screwed up. You have to have scope, and you have to believe in yourself. So when I see something like this, I know what I can do. So, and I know people ask for tutorials, but I'm going to just talk about it on the video tomorrow. I'm not going to showcase on the actual what I did, because very seldom, or there's just not a lot of people that are willing to take a leap of faith. And it's so time consuming, labor intensive to do a USB hack and then to try to document it, because I know people want to see how it's done, but it doesn't, I feel like it doesn't provide, like the way I do it is like a tutorial, but it's, as you said, Wayne, no one has the balls to do it. So, but I do want to talk about it. I do want to bitch about it for a little bit. And let me see if I can find something here, if I can show it to you. I'll show you this. So, for example, like I was able to get the engines to pulsate. So you can't see in the photo, but those thrusters are pulsating, right? And I even have a sound box or just a Bluetooth speaker I can put inside. And I added the sound. I took it out though because I didn't know how I was able to charge up the USB speaker. But I had it at one point where I had a looped engine sound and almost near in sync. And I'm like, how am I going to pull this thing out and charge it up? So I scrapped it. But the engines in the Ghost do pulsate, all 4 of them. So yes, and I don't know, why is there no audio on this? Uh, yes, yeah. So the engines do pulsate. Yeah. I also had to level up on the power architect, where when I USB hack, I usually level up to just a USB plug and limit it to 5 volts. For this bad boy, I needed 12 volts. So in this has to plug in. So this requires an outlet. And I watched YouTube video tutorials. I'm like, all right, I'm confident in a 5-volt USB architect, but the Ghost is going to require a ton of lights because I want to make this ship come alive. So I need to figure out how to build a 12-volt architect, just a regular outlet, and it doesn't fry the ship. And I was able to do it with this one. So this is my first one. So, but it is plug-in though through an actual outlet. We have a question here before I leave. Denobi, did you have any problems with the DeLorean 3 wheel springs? Because the DeLorean Tech YouTuber did. I did not have any issues with my Mark III DeLorean. In fact, I love my Mark III DeLorean. I thought they did such a fantastic job with it. DeLorean Tech YouTuber, didn't he also release a video before? I think I saw one of his videos where he was bitching about it, right? He was bitching about something that he hadn't reviewed yet or something. Is that the same guy? I know somebody in YouTube land did something. I'm like, how can you review or critique something you don't have in hands looking at someone else's video, especially on a big ticket item like that? So my Mark III DeLorean is perfection. The spring mechanisms worked. My train track that I used with the aluminum extrusion rods worked. I was out in the desert playing with it. I had people looking at me and I didn't give a shit. I'm like, I'm sitting on this fucking dirt playing with a DeLorean on rails and I'm loving it. Yeah. So anyway, I'll probably put this video in my review, but it doesn't matter because can't you guys see it already? Hold on. Look, hold on. What am I talking about here? Hold on. Look. I'm a moron. It's right behind me. It's on. Duh. I've been running power tests for the last several days, making sure that that the resistors aren't overheating and so forth. So I plugged, there's a portable power here. So I plug it in and I do tests. I'm taking this out in the field tomorrow and I want to make sure there's no issues. But yeah, it's pulsating. I know you big guy. Then could USB hack the sun when he goes supernova? I know. I was right behind me and it's pulsating. Duh. Right behind me. His spring mechanization was not functioning properly. It could be a defect or user error. I don't know what to tell you. I had no issues. I know how to work a Hot Toys DeLorean. I do. I think we are done, folks. I need to go to bed. Yeah, this was fun. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you wonderful folks out there. For those of you that are still left, I know a lot of folks have left the community. So for those of you still hanging in there, man, it's you're doing something good. You're doing something smart, because I'm 100% aware that a lot of collectors during the holidays were just simply overwhelmed. Like, it was just too much. Invoices coming in, and it just, but hopefully, I mean, I was talking about it even from August, from summertime. I was preparing for the worst for the holiday season. So I did good. I got the toys that I wanted. I got exactly what I wanted for the holiday season. The only thing that I didn't get that I would have wanted for Christmas was the Dewback, but that's coming in pretty soon. So folks, thanks for watching. I'm going to bed. What video can I play?
Please, show some mercy.
Mercy? I'm afraid that my condition has left me cold to your pleas of mercy.